Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
This segment is sponsored by QC Kinetics.
Hey guys, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today we're going to be hearing from our friends from QC Kinetics about how regenerative medicine can help you move better, feel better, and live better.
Brian, so regenerative methods, are they just for professional athletes?
No, it's not just for professional athletes, but we hear about it a lot in sports because those guys are stressing their bodies and get acute injuries or something that's a fresh injury. We see those patients here, but we also mostly see patients that have more chronic issues. They've been dealing with the bad knee or the bad shoulder for years, and now their life's not working. They can't play golf, or they can't play with the grandkids, or they just can't work. And so that's the lion's share of our patients are more chronic, but we do also see athletes of all levels, weekend warriors, all the way up to professionals.
It runs the gamut, all kinds of patients. When you're talking stem cells, are those therapies legal in the US?
Yes. Now, what we're harvesting when we use the term stem cells, they're mesenchymal stem cells from the bone marrow, and in the US, they need to be harvested from the patient. So there's a medical term for that, autologous. So we use autologous bone marrow aspirate here. We don't use cells that you get from the adipose tissue. That's another, or fat tissue. That's another place you can derive stem cells from. We don't do that here. We do bone marrow aspirate concentrate here.
Which leads me to another myth. Stem cells aren't just from embryos.
No, you're making them all the time. That's how your body heals itself. It's really important that those areas that your body's healing have good blood supply. So if you cut your skin, your body sends platelets and stem cells to that area to make new tissue, because those areas have great blood supply. But there are areas that don't have great blood supply, like the inside of our joints, and that's why we need to deliver those cells manually with a needle.
So Brian, are all regenerative procedures the same?
And so when you say procedures, yes, I am putting the same needle in the same joint space, so that aspect is the same. But we use different cells for each treatment. Sometimes we're using platelet-rich plasma. We've nicknamed that PRP. It's very popular, people have heard of it. But that is a specific cell that we use. We draw your whole blood, then we spin it in the lab and derive out the platelets, and we concentrate that to make it platelet-rich plasma. On a successive treatment, you may have what's called alpha-2 macroglobulin. We've nicknamed that A2M. That has a different job. It's going to lower inflammation, much like PRP, but it also puts a protective coating. We call that a protease inhibitor, but basically a protective coating on any healthy tissue that you do have to protect any cartilage that you do have from any breakdown of the inflammatory cycle. So those are two separate treatments. And then we have the bone marrow aspirate, where people kind of nickname that stem cells, but that's another treatment. So we're using pretty much those three, PRP, A2M, and BMAC, or bone marrow aspirate.
So when clients come through your door for that first consultation, is it a one-size-fits-all approach? I'm thinking not.
It's a one-size-fits-all in that I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to be quiet and let you tell me what you're dealing with, and then we're going to talk about the mechanism of injury. Did this just happen a week ago, or has this been the last decade of your life? And then we're gonna do a physical exam where I'm gonna want to see that body part move, see where the pain is, and then we're going to look at it with ultrasound and actually see what's happening on the inside. See what the tissue looks like, and then make a customized plan. Like, do you just need PRP? Is this an acute muscle injury or something that's outside of the joint? You may do fine with just PRP. If it's something inside the joint where you've really degraded the cartilage, we're probably going to need BMAC to be part of that treatment. So in that aspect, it's very customized.
For those who are struggling with chronic pain and they're intrigued, their ears are perked up, where can they go?
Yeah, they can come see me right here in the clinic, and we'll talk about your specific problem.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm back in the studio with my friend Davina. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, Katie, and you look lovely today. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to hear what you've been working on for the last year. We were catching up just now. What do you do?
Yes, I actually host a International Men's Empowerment Conference that I started the nonprofit People Over Profit Lloyd Foundation and the legacy of my grandfather. So I used to help my grandfather at the men's shelter back home in Philadelphia, providing meals and toiletries and warm clothing. I also served on the prison ministry at my church, where we help men and other, men coming out of prison, help with job applications, resume writing, professional attire. And then I was also the only woman on the board for housing and development, where we help people who were homeless and men and other families obtain homes. So that's kind of how this conference got started.
And this is sort of like your calling now. Since you've moved here, you are definitely a staple in the community when it comes to men's empowerment.
Definitely. I saw men just struggling either with job loss, divorce, anger management, and I wanted to do something about it. So the first year just kind of came together with the community, and it was awesome. The second year, we were able to bring in world-renowned keynote speakers to help and come and empower and inspire the men. We gave out a lot of professional attire. We did a how to tie a tie workshop for the youth. We had a marketing team come in and teach on marketing and design. And we just had the keynote speakers kind of pour into the men. So it's been really amazing.
That's awesome. I can imagine these little things really do make a big difference in someone's life. So What is the feedback then?
The feedback has been awesome. I've actually seen men grow through this organization, where now they're getting speaking engagements. They're pouring back into the youth. They're inspiring others, and they're continuing coming back to say, like, Davina, what do you need? We want to support you in this organization because we feel like it's important in our community.
That is so awesome. And obviously you have this big conference that happens every June?
Yes, it's happening every June, but we do have monthly meetings. So Thank you for all the mentors and coaches that have been helping me out. I really appreciate you. We have monthly events that we do just to kind of keep the momentum up, keep the men engaged, have a sense of unity and brotherhood. We want to create a safe space for the men. So, and men, it's okay to be vulnerable. And women, we have to be acceptable to that, so that when men are dealing with these issues, they can have someone to come to. So please, join our mailing list, find us on the web, and we can always connect you with another gentleman that can help be life-changing for you.
And you were saying you've had people who have joined the program and started hanging out with you guys and have seen serious growth in just a little bit of time.
Yes, and just months at a time. I give men a platform where they're able to use their talents and gifts and also pour into others, but people recognize them. And from what they do, people now will book them for speaking engagements or book signings, or just to come and speak and mentor the youth and inspire them. We have a lot of troubled teens out here, and we want to be able to support them and help them. Hopefully, in the conferences next to come, we're going to be providing trade workshops so that they can have hands-on training and kind of just get back to, trade skills and entrepreneurship that we could provide, because we do a lot of leadership development training as well.
I love it. That is just so awesome. I love what you do. So if somebody's watching right now and they want to stay in contact with you, you said you have a mailing list, and tell everybody what the website is and how they can get in touch.
Sure. You can find us on Facebook at People Over Profit Lloyd Foundation. You can also find us on the web at peopleoverprofitLloydFoundation.org. You can join our mailing list. The phone number is there. Please reach out, text, call us if there's a gentleman in need, whether you want to grow your business or whether you're just looking for another gentleman to connect with that can be life-changing and inspire your life. Reach out.
Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Man, am I excited. Guys, in the studio today, I actually have a magician with me, Lion Flood. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm excited to be here and just to embrace all this positive energy.
Oh yeah, we're all about positive energy on Living Local Carolina. But I want to know more about you.
Okay.
How did you get into magic in the first place?
That is the age-old question, and to give you the short answer, so I'm a retired Marine veteran.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you for your
and
service.
Thank you. And I was injured, and I was recouping in a hospital. I had about 4 knee surgeries and couldn't move, and so I needed something to do. And I picked up a book and started reading, and it made me smile. And I started learning magic tricks, and eventually they would bring patients in to the room, and I would do tricks for them, little card tricks. And then when I was able to be mobile in a wheelchair, they would wheel me to other patients' room, and it kind of snowballed.
way.
Yeah, and it just picked up from that and just took off.
What you got?
All right, so I love using senses when I perform, right? So in this one, we're gonna use 2 senses, sight and sound. What I would like to do is attempt to place this coin inside the bottle, just like that. Now,
No way.
so and it's gonna happen very close up, right? And I'm gonna do it on the count of 3.
Okay.
So watch. And I'm gonna do it slow so everyone can see it. 1, 2. You know, 3 days ago when I tried this trick, no I'm kidding. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Now, how on earth did he just do that? Y'all.
And you can hold your hand out. I want you to verify that's an actual coin. It's
Dude.
yes.
Okay, when I read that you're good at close-up magic, I wasn't actually quite sure what close-up magic was,
Oh.
but like to actually be in front of it and
Yes.
watch it happen, it's wild.
Yes.
That was crazy.
And that's probably
That's
the
difficult to
best-
do.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing I love about magic, because stage magic and all that's great.
The smoke and the
Yes.
mirrors and everything.
But to be inches from it and to
Yeah.
see it literally go from here to there,
Love
it's indescribable sometimes. That emotion. Thank you. Thank you.
I loved that. Oh, and I love magic too. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm back with Everett from Looking Good Auto Detailing. Thanks for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, today we're talking about ceramic coating 101. Why is this important? Why do our viewers need to be considering this for their cars?
So we buy a vehicle. If anybody's been paying attention to the market, the price of vehicles have gone up over the course of the last few years.
They have.
It's always been important to have some form of protection on your paint, whether it be wax, sealant, ceramic. With ceramic, it's just a longer lasting protection. So it protects your vehicle from the harmful UV rays of the sun, bird droppings, etching from bugs.
Yeah.
If you live closer to the beach, the air is kind of salty. It can cause oxidation or rust on your paint. So
We all know about that.
right, and even if like when you go to sell a vehicle, the resale value, it maintains that resale value. So and it looks good.
Yeah.
So
Your car looks like brand new.
right, easy to maintain, the whole shebang. Like I don't know a downside to ceramic.
Yeah. So how long does it last once you get it
It
coated?
depends. It depends on a lot of factors. So it depends on the maintenance.
Okay.
So we have a 2-year coating, a 5-year coating, and a 9-year coating.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it depends on the maintenance. It depends on the upkeep. It really just depends on that client and how well
Yeah.
they maintain that vehicle, whether it sits outside or in the garage, daily driver or not. Like it's a lot of different factors that go into how long the ceramic can actually last. The manufacturer guarantees that it's on the vehicle for X amount of years, but depending on how that client maintains it will determine that.
The longevity, and
The
then you're getting your
longevity
bang
of
for your buck
it.
there.
Right.
Well, you have a lot of different options at Looking Good Auto Detailing,
sure.
where you can kind of pick and choose, and you can walk people through that process too, right?
Yeah, it's a lengthy process. So we have you, when you book, like we have you book a consultation first.
Yeah.
So you come in, we'll inspect the vehicle, see what the needs of the vehicle are, and then kind of go from there. We'll give you our suggestions, and then you'll make an informed decision based on the information we gave you.
Love it. Okay, how can people get in contact with you and learn a little more?
We're at lookinggoodauto.com, or you can give us a call at 803-974-0709.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I am joined by Joshua. You are a self-proclaimed indie manga creator.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right, we got to get down to the bottom of this. Tell everybody what you do and how you got into this in the first place.
So me being an indie manga creator, I've always liked anime, superhero stuff growing up. That was my main inspiration. But then I always had these ideas, like as I was going through things growing up, that I would watch movies and I was like, I could make that better. So in my head, I would like make these movies with my own characters and I'll be sitting in class just daydreaming about these movies that I'm making in my own head. Eventually I started making an idea for some concepts for a manga, and I really didn't act on it until the passing of my mother before college, because my mom passed away then, probably 2 weeks after when my older brothers passed away. That was kind of what, I know that, I know how that's, but sometimes, you know, there's a blessing in the lesson. And in that lesson, it propelled me into acting on the things that my mom believed in me in doing. So I started with the manga. I really didn't get into after the college where I felt like I could draw, but I wanted to draw everything myself. But I then took a course where someone was like, hey, if you can, get out of the way so somebody else can do it, because I'm looking at another 2 years if I try to learn how to do the manga style. So with that, I started on doing it. I started going to conventions, and I would first kind of pick people's brains. One of my early mentors, he was surprised because I just asked him, hey, can I get your number? Can I reach out to you if I need anything? And I was asking him 6 months later, I'm messaging him, I'm like, hey, guess who's gonna be at the same convention that you were at? And he was surprised. From there, I was just hitting it boots to the ground. And I've done PowerCon, which is a local one for Florence. I've done, I did the Grand Strand one that's down here, the Grand Strand Comic-Con. And then I recently did LA Comic-Con. So
that's big.
That was a condensing of the timeline of how we got here. But my main project, there was one time I had a dream, and it was about Camgechi. And I then started to connect the dots after I had that dream. I took a Gullah Geechee business course, and they were trying to tie in what I do into the course. They were like, why don't you do a Gullah Geechee story? And I was like, why don't I do a Gullah Geechee story? That's a good point. And I started connecting it, and then that's when all of this came about. And from here, I mean, this is starting to be one of the stories that, despite my main project is doing good, but as people start to hear about Camgechi, they're like, we want this.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here right now.
So you're building this world that is completely tied to your own culture.
Yes.
What has the response been so far when you tell people about this?
There's more of a surprise, actually, because no one's doing it. Yeah. I go to a lot of these conventions and I ask people, about Gullah Geechee culture, and I even talk about how a lot of African Americans don't realize here in America, 80% of us have some type of Gullah Geechee lineage, but yet they don't know that they have this lineage. So when I bring up the concept of Camgechi, I have been quizzed a little bit, but I'm doing my best as I'm learning about my own history, that I'm, putting it into the story. So that's kind of the fun part about it, is taking something that I find out about Gullah Geechee culture and find a way to twist it and putting it into the story.
It's very unique.
Very unique.
It's very cool what you do. I'm very excited to see where this goes. How can people stay updated with everything that you're doing so they can get that drop the second that it's ready?
Good question. So I have my Instagram that is @_no retreat, no surrender. That's the name of my main project, is No Retreat, No Surrender. My email is missyoujoshua@gmail.com.
Remind me of the Instagram name again.
@_no retreat, no surrender.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.